Welcome back to more Rogue Legacy 2 speedruns. We're just gonna get to it. We have a lot of rust to rip out. A lot of issues that I have that I need to not have it as issues. Just the fact that I was dying to Enoch happens sometimes, but the fact that I was having trouble there. Ugh. Well. Oop. There's a path over to the left, but we're gonna go up here first. That is a silver chest. It is worth. Oh well. I believe. Woo! Host 312. Thank you very much for following. I really do appreciate it. How's it going? Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. If you just want to sit back and watch, that's perfectly fine. We're doing Rogue Legacy 2 speedrun for a bit. Woo. Gotta make sure I avoid. Took a little bit of damage thanks to the apple. Awesome, more equipment. Gosh, I think I have tree kit and chest, which ironically are the two equipment that... Okay, helm also doesn't matter, but you start with helm, so... Another silver chest. I always grab silver chests because I need equipment. I keep getting the equipment that doesn't matter because it doesn't increase damage output in any way. Alright, found book. That's good. We found more reasons to believe. And I think we're going to just warp to the main entrance. Because we still need to find our dash. And it looks like there's a path to our right that we can continue. So, yeah. I'll try to explain... I plan to explain through the next run so that more people can see it, but generally we're just kind of going the routes. The route is kind of like a clock going from 9 to 3, just clockwise around a circle sort of theme. I am currently at way too low of a health. This is not okay. But I need to find Hector's help increases damage output, even though it's kind of scary to be at that low of a health. Ooh. Well, we're getting equipment, and we got Scholar Cape. Okay, that's good equipment. That's good equipment. We definitely got equipment this run, though a lot of it was not valuable equipment, unfortunately. We still need to find Dash. Ooh. Killing them because obviously if I get one shot that's not okay. Don't have dash, so I can't pull that one off. Whew. Alright, dash could be there, and otherwise I might as well just keep going this way. That's exactly what you're trying to avoid. So now I have to reset this entire area. Ugh. Alright, get a good trait. Get good traits. Algesia is basically suicide. But it has Cirquet Steener and what the hell. What the hell, we'll go for it. This is probably a bad idea because Algesia is that bad of a trait. But I'll freaking go for it. And it is actually better to just not take the risk of having my characters become rangers than to keep purchasing them. But yeah, we're in a bad spot now. While we have a lot of money from Algesia, which will be good, you know, if we don't get murdered instantly, because, like, I swear, Algesia is a lot like Ostenogesis. It allows you to get, like, insta-killed by attacks. Is this a treasure chest? Alright, so we found the exit on the top again, so that's a positive. We're fighting our way through. Feeds are going good. I don't have... Oh well. Hyperion's Read. Reduce my max health, but get myself some survivability to counteract the Algesia. Ooh. Gotta be careful though. I'm not sure. I think Algesia is going to check affect shield block in some very negative ways, if I remember correctly. So I have to be ready for that. Not worthwhile. Very careful. Don't really need Fireball. We already have Circuit Steamer. I mean, Fireball can expand that, but I already have, Magma Mass is already a good damage dealing spell. Just so weird knowing that like I could die in basically one hit. Well, unfortunately we're hitting a lot of dead ends other than otherwise. So while this looked like it was gonna go okay. Hey, finally grabbed this. Still very unfortunate. We lost so much area. We lost so much ground. We're basically just in recovery state. We really want to find Lamech ASAP. Get ourselves the extra plus 50% gold fighting Lamech. And leverage that gold to go. Probably should have just used Magma Mass, oh well. Probably should have, you know, stayed around to attack that a bit more, but oh well. Make some bad mistakes, but our main goal right now is just to keep it sub 50. And if sub 50 fails, then we go for sub hour. Like right now, it's not even misfortune. That was just bad play on my part. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Oof. Yeah. Hope the day's going well. Hope the day's going well for you guys. Alright. Now we have to find Lamech and the round. Lamech, the Axis Mundi exits. Alright. So here's Lamech. We need to find the Axis Mundi exit, and we need to find the book. Alright, we have Leather Weapon and Scholar Cape. That's great. This also does mean I'm gonna need to leverage my gold more because so I have like, in addition to having to buy Architect, I actually have like a bunch of things I need to buy with it. Problem is, because of Algesia, if I get hit by Lamech, it might actually kill me. Which is terrifying to consider. But we didn't. Or at least we didn't get hit by Lamech significantly. Alright, so we get plus 50% gold. That will bring us to 1,860 gold. That is the minimum to buy the Architect, but we also want to buy Scholar Cape and Leather Weapon, which will be another 775 gold. So, gotta consider that. Glad I only got hit once there. Which, as I have Algesia, that is not a guarantee that I only get hit once. Alright, found book. Now I just need to find... There it is. Awesome! So the second life we managed to pull off, despite having Algesia, and by having Algesia, we get our gold gain. I will definitely state I feel like Algesia still deserves more than plus 50% because lacking iframes is actually absolutely devastating. But we managed to pull it off. I think it should be 75% personally. The only reason it's 70% now is because of the 20% gold increase from the bridge. Alright. Alright. Keep moving. Oh, that one's a little close. That's okay. We managed. Alright. About 70% gold. I think if we find just a future chest with gold in it, we'll be alright. Because, yeah, as I said, we do need 700 more gold. We're at 700 more gold. Which is quite feasible with all this gold increase, but that doesn't make it easy. Woo! Chasers. We're dealing with chasers. It's not a drill. Get out. Get out. I was thinking of going for that other chest, but I decided against it since it was so directly out of my pathing. Oh my gosh. Well, I made it. Alright. Not where I need it to be yet, but we're getting closer. Hey Joe, it's a guy. How's it going? It's going good on my side. This run started off going a bit south, but it seems like we're recovering it, which is great. So our character right now has Algesia, which means that I have no invincibility frames. So I could get hit and then just comboed into oblivion. And that's actually what happens most of the time, so it's a very scary trait to have. Every hit is terrifying. Unless it's from a projectile, so projectiles only hit once, like so. But like, it is entirely possible I get hit by someone in like the ceiling, and I just bump into them constantly and can't get out. I get stuck in a loop of pain, and the only exit is death. Sounds way darker than I mean for it to sound, but it's how it plays out. Ooh. Get that working that all out of the way. Hey, Strong Gun Chimp. All right, I can't read the entire comment right now. As I said, my character has Algesia, so I get comboed off, like that just happened. Hit me twice. Bringing me to near-death experiences. Thank you, Apple. I really appreciate it. If I could get meat alongside you, I would appreciate that even more. Nope. Alright. Well, we're going to this fight with 86 health. I don't care. Do you think Fisher Dry Lake will be an exploration-based biome like the City Estate or later like the Sun Tower? That's a good question. So I've always predicted it being kind of a boss rush area. So I'm thinking it will be more open than something like the Sun Tower, but I think the general design will be more linear. So I don't think it's going to be as linear as something like the Sun Tower. but I think it will be focused linear going down. Yes, I'm not even using my shield because the iframes of the shield won't last long. So I need to get out almost instantly upon using the shield. Yeah, either way, I'm excited. And we did that without getting hit. I am proud of myself. I just realized we have Hyperion Ring, so even if I died there, it wouldn't have been too bad. A boss rush would be cool. So yeah, so the Fish of Dry Lake, we know that the Stygian waters basically flooded the lake. So the only thing I could think of is, since the Stygian waters is what corrupted this place, why estuaries became void beasts, things of that nature. I just have to believe this is the source of the corruption. It's going to be filled with creatures made by the corruption, just absolutely brimming with them. Oop. Oop. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Boss rush scar could be possible. Yeah, so I'm not saying like it's like you go into here and you face the enemies you've been facing in the past. What I mean by boss rush is that it's going to be an area that is like focused on combat, heavy combat. So boss rush, I guess, would be a misnomer since boss rush is specifically bosses, but I think it is specifically going to be combat centric. There we are. Oh my gosh. There's my 2 lilies, and yes, you do have the damage boost for that one. You actually have access to Nama. Oh, what am I doing? Well, we popped open Nama's doors already. I am seriously considering, so I'm seriously considering, but I just chose not to do it, just facing Nama now, because I only have 140 health, and I would gain back 20 of my resolve by facing Nama and removing the lilies, but I just decided this character could do more. I think this character will be facing Nama before, like, entering the Stygian study, but I don't think I'm gonna, like, sacrifice the double jump acquisition for the sake of facing them off. That could have combo killed. And by that, I mean I could have died there because of Algesia. These apples keeping me one step from death every single time. This is actually scary. Whew. This is just such a tight space. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe we made it back to here again. Alright. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to get 2-shot by Nama. Which makes me think maybe that's a bad idea, but then I realize I'm going to get 2-shot by everything in the Stygian study as well. And 2-shot by Gaunthead, 2-shot. I'm going to get 2-shot by everything, and Nama could give me plus 50 gold if I succeed. And if I fail, Nama's open, and I have... Well, actually, I get 3-shot because of my Hyperion Ring. Didn't even think about that. 4 shots, because the Hyperion Ring is going to be based off of the 180 health instead of the... Yeah, okay. We're facing them all on that grounding. Oh my gosh, did they give more time to Algesia? Because, like, I am not suffering the way I'm used to Algesia slaughtering me. Algesia is usually a slaughtering destructive effect. And that's not worth, that's worth far more than a plus 50% gold increase. But I have not been suffering its ill effects. They might have made Algesia much easier. In Irad's notes, he mentioned that Estuary 2-Ball fled from the Dry Lake, so he is the boss of the Fish Dry Lake. Yes, there's also, so there's a bit more in his notes that is pretty important for 2-Ball. He fled down there immediately after the infiltration, the enemies entering the gates. Immediately after that failed is when 2-Ball entered and hid in there. So it's entirely possible that 2-Ball is the one who led the invasion, the one who sent people in that basically told the people, hey, this is what that day is happening for when you want to strike. That he's the traitor. So it's going to be interesting getting 2-Ball's notes as to why he betrayed the other estuaries. Ooh. Also, it's worth noting, something I'm kind of looking forward to in Connection is that, on their bases, this is all, most lore is, you know, it's based off of the story of Cain and Abel, and 2-Ball isn't actually, the full name. Their name is 2-Ball Cain. And no, it's not Cain, it's, 2-Ball Cain means son of Cain or something of that nature. So, the fact is they were probably the most, to have their name based off of the person they are estuaries of, basically having their name connected to the king like that, I think that is going to have some sort of question connected to it. There's basically a lot of really cool questions and ways they could go with it, with the existence of 2-Ball. I'm really interested in seeing what they choose. Woo. All right. Well, we have money. We have money. The big question is, do we use the book? We have double jump, but we don't have damage output. Why not? Take advantage of the Hyperion's Read. Make it so that if I run into that room, I can actually take advantage of it and gain some insight. Could be a bad idea to grab the book now, but it'll be alright. And yeah, the fact that you could basically take the book when you need to take the book is kind of why it's hard to make splits for this game, because, basically, when you... I'm having problems wording it. Because the book could just happen at a random time, it's kind of like we have splits, and then we just have this check mark that is, just, is book taken? Yes, no. Which, as you can guess, a check mark, doesn't really fit within splits. I mean, yeah, it's imperative that you grab book for the category. I have no intelligence boost, so I can't do that one quick either. But yeah, if you have strength boost, there is some areas where you could do these faster. Alright, full health, or basically full health. Book collected. Hyperion Ring's active. The needle's still there. We have fiends. We have options. Alright. Let's now head on in. Alright, we want to head left whenever possible. A lot of archers today. That was quite the room. Like, literally every enemy was an archer except, like, 2. And that room was filled with enemies. Make sure that's... Don't want to lose my 10 points there, though I like to take that damage less. Do that, make it easy on myself. I recognize I got no additional damage boosts. Darn it. Alright, Hyperion's Reed. Hyperion's Reed protects me. Whew. Get out of there before the iframes fade out, because I have traits so that the iframes wouldn't fade out. Alright. Well, Hyperion Ring used. This game looks interesting. Never heard of it before? Okay, so yeah, my Rogue Legacy 2. So the original Rogue Legacy was basically the game that popularized roguelites back in 2013. Like, Rogue Legacy came out, and then roguelites suddenly became like... I think that obviously Rogue was the original, but this one, like, helped make it boom, the idea of not just the game Rogue, but the concept of a game where dying makes you strong, where you die a lot, and every time you do it again, but with random generation. Like, this came out before Binding of Isaac. I'm not sure if it's directly quoted as inspiration to any of the big roguelikes, but you could just tell to a certain extent the connections, how similar some systems are. Oof. But yeah, so the second one, as you can see, is currently in beta test, or in early access, I guess is what it's called. And so I've been testing it out. Alright, I'm going to grab that chest and then return to main menu, because that's faster. We are nearly at 10,000 gold. That's a really good boon from a character with Algesia. Did not expect this character to last very long, to be honest. Alright. But anyways, yeah. So the game is already bigger than the original. There's a lot of cool concepts in it. So basically, one of the things worth noting is I have to die. Like, I'm getting all this gold. When I die, I then get to spend the gold to upgrade my character. So, or my next character, I guess. Because they're going to have different traits than this one, and I'm going to have to adapt to the new traits. So, want to get as much out of it as I can. Alright, well there it goes. That's okay, I killed a lot of bosses with him. Let's see, in Muscle Fibers, Combative. Free Strike Combative sounds like a great way to kill, but also a great way to die. This sounds safe. Let's go Combative. Let's try it out. We do have a well-rounded character, though, so Combative isn't going to really synergize well with the Scholar Cape we're going to be grabbing, but it's alright. So now as you see, I died, so now I'm increasing the power of the castle. Ah, come on. So one of these is you unlock different classes that all play a bit different. I'm quickly going to spend this gold at the blacksmith while I can. Make sure, because the blacksmith is the way to get the best bang for your buck, basically. Because I'm a combatant, I'm going to max out that first. Pop one there in case I need my resolve. And now we start locking the castle. Alright. I wonder what the mysterious Trevor is going to be. Well, I know they want to bring back the characters from the original game, and we are missing out 2 characters. One is the elf, the gambling elf, and the other is the clown. I know a lot of people loved the clown and his little carnival games, so I know people are waiting for him. I can't remember his name, like Bozo or Bingo or something like that. But I know they said that they're coming back, and they're like figuring out in what way they're coming back, but they are coming back. Alright. I want to check that path to the right. Wait for all the spike balls, because the spike balls are dangerous. So I have combative, which reduces my, basically allows me to deal more damage, but reduces my health in half. As you saw, I actually already close to death from one hit. Do that to knock them away. There, this is what I've been looking for. Alright, thank goodness. Alright, so this heirloom is going to give me, so all the heirlooms give you special abilities. This one, Void Dash. These super long dashes that allow me to avoid void projectiles. For example, that spike ball is a void ball. That is something that I can now actually avoid. So, oof. Alright. Keep it moving. And so, yeah, so what I did is I used the architect to lock down the castle so I don't have to re-explore the entire castle again. There are other ways, you don't always have to explore the entire castle, but the fastest, least cost-intensive way involves. There we are. Just use the iframes and the shield bash. Sounds good. Whoop. Alright. Taking care of issues. Whew. God, just move through these challenges real quick. So yeah, these challenge rooms are always the same. Like, there's a few variations in some places, but they're like super minimal. Like, for example, the way I play that room with the eyeballs is different depending on which eyeball spawns first, how the spike balls start their initial launch, but, like, generally most players will never even consider such things. It's just the room with the eyeballs, or, you know. Alright, found Enoch, awesome. So I found everything I need in this area. So, since I found everything, I'm going to just start completing bosses. So first I have to beat Murmur. And as a combatant, this character is better at boss fighting than exploring the Sun Tower. The Sun Tower is basically the final platforming challenge. And at times, because of the random variance, it can be arbitrarily, unreasonably hard. So, I like, and since it's the last thing, you can't really, doing it early is also extremely dangerous. So, since this is a combatant, they have half health but increased damage. Platforming challenges doesn't really work with increased damage. You'd rather... Awesome. Do not have the iframes to get through this, though, I don't think. So I'm just going to play it safe. There we go. Took care of Murmur without a point of damage. That always feels good. We don't need any of the iron in the chest. The iron is for upgrading in it's for certain upgrades, which we will never reach as speedrunners. Like, we will just not play the game long enough to really take advantage of it. But if you're playing normally, definitely grab the iron ore, but we just need gold. Soul, like, to use iron ore, you first need to use souls. And, like, as a non-speedrunner, there will be little challenges that you could complete to get a bunch of souls, but... we're gonna try facing them from above, because it just naturally came that way after that first dash ended up going too high. I do not like this position, though. I will state that. I probably should have moved more. I honestly did that for the iframes, and I just happened to do it right in time. Having the boss or void beast of the Dry Lake be something like Herodotus from Rogue Legacy 1 would be cool. So I think that is what they're going to end up doing, because it is like lined up to be the Herodotus boss fight, basically. The thing is, I will just state, as a speedrunner, Herodotus is hell. As a speedrunner, Herodotus is very much more thoroughly designed of, gets to a level cap to make me easy. Like, the difference of facing it at level 20 versus level 200 is far more significant than against other bosses. With other bosses, it's just like, the difference, like, Herodotus as a character is a fight that gets out of control if you can't kill fast enough. And, you know, when you just don't have as many damage upgrades. Because of the issue. I will say boss fights look cool. Oh yeah, boss fights are awesome. By the way, sorry, I did spoil that. I'm not... hopefully you just don't remember, but this was supposed to be a trick boss fight, but I already know the trick, so not much of a trick to fight. Not much of a trick. Fun or your first time. Anyways, we now have the final boss. This is definitely the coolest looking boss fight, but it's also the one that takes the most amount of time to get used to. Definitely know people are still having trouble with it. I am going to just grab the damage boost, because why not? We're here. So yeah, there's these secrets that, like, you can... there's, like, story elements, and it will tell you puzzles to figure out where these things are. But, of course, again, I know the secrets, I know the puzzles, I speedrun this game. Alright, cool. Yeah, if there's any... like, there's a bunch of places where they improved this game compared to its original. And if there's anywhere that's the most improved, it's the boss fights. The boss fights are just amazing in this game compared to the original. Oh my gosh, they have entering the room okay, so I have now confirmed they have protection. When you enter the room, you cannot take damage for a limited period of time. Unfortunately, I just die in 2 hits anyways, and I'm a fool. Alright. So, Barbarian? Or Knight? Knight has Icarus Wings. Knight has Icarus Wings. Alright, we're gonna try to see... so Icarus Wings is... my jumps are a lot more awkward, but I have a ton of extra jumps, which can be huge. Alright. Hopefully that's all the upgrades I need. That should be more than enough, honestly. Good intelligence, good strength. Like, should have everything taken care of. The next boss is bad for speedrunning. Since it's early access, they will probably tweak it to be less annoying in the next patch. So it's not bad for... it's bad for speedrunning in a way that's good for the game. Like, it's the style of boss that's bad for speedrunning, is the way I would describe it. It's not bad for speedrunning, it's just... I would say never really worry about speedrunners. They will find a way around things. It's just, if you're trying to learn the speedrun, Herodotus is like the challenge that keeps people from speedrunning the original. Herodotus and the final boss just made, when I got into speedrunning Rogue Legacy 1, it was just like, dear God, it was something else. Alright, let me get my iframes. So yeah, I really appreciate those iframes when you enter a new room. It's going to make Sun Tower so much more acceptable, and you will see there are certain points where you have blind entrances in Sun Tower, and to have some iframes during those points definitely is appreciated. But yeah, anyways, the way Sun Tower works is it's just a really, everything's designed to keep going straight up, and the boss is at the very top. Very hard because it's these platforming sections, and because you're supposed to be at a much higher level. You die in 2 hits about. So now we are going to use the Ranger. This is the only time I ever use the Ranger. It's because they have, their special ability is a platform to get higher up. And we just basically need to get to the top of this tower. The thing is, a lot of our issues aren't with the platforming challenges, it's with the enemies in the narrow corridors. And the Archer doesn't actually have a solution to that. So this might not help me much at all. But yeah, I don't, like, Herodotus was not made intentionally bad for speedrunning. It's just, like, it makes the approach difficult, is all that I was trying to get at. I'm like, speedrunning this game is already difficult as is. I don't think they're too worried about it being more difficult as they add a difficult boss fight, you know? Alright. There we go. Alright, here's where we died last time. It's because of the charites, honestly. Just damage boost. I was trying to just damage boost because there's just too many projectiles. Those 2 blue orbs just keep chasing you. So I needed to get out of the way to the best of my ability. Alright, we're going to try to leverage Freeze Strike and Shield Bash. That's the plan. We, because we don't have the wings, our jump is more extreme. So the problem with the wings is your jump is short, making it hard for you to escape certain situations. So I'm hoping that this will deal with that issue, basically. Not having that will help deal with that issue. And then the spell is good for getting around enemies instead of fighting through them. In my opinion, any boss fight is good as long as it isn't bullet hell. Well then. I have some news for you. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, Shield Bash, it's just this iframe sort of maneuver that I do there to let my go through projectiles without having to deal with them. Alright. Oof. Alright. Ah! Come on. Leverage it! Oh my gosh! You saw how I just went through all those bullets. Oh my gosh. Alright. Gotta keep going up. I think. If it's just you two. Awesome. So we can just go in here. Come on. No! Dead end. Gotta go through here. Great. Please don't be too high. Alright, so there's the exits. That direction straight up only is done for the exits for this area. Problem is, you have seeking missiles and such between us and there. And low enough health. Oh, there's the exit! Ah, there we go. Awesome. Whew. Made it, but barely. Alright. I like that Irad is a throwback to Kadir from the first game. Yep. So, here, Destiny Bound is the final boss as of currently, until they add more bosses. And as you will find, this boss is kind of a bullet hell. So, I enjoy it because of the way that the bullet hell works, but it's definitely something to get used to. Can't deny this one takes a little getting used to. It's not as bad as a bullet hell as I'm sure other bosses are, because the game is designed so you can do it without getting hit. As in, they actively make sure there's little pockets that if you know what you're doing, you could jump into those little holes in the air for a period of time. In fact, Ranger is actually not bad in this fight, even for me. So I have my control scheme is built in a way that makes Ranger worse than it normally is. Usually you're supposed to have full control, like, you know, have a deep, like, you know, the way you would have full control of the directions on a analog stick, but I just use the D-pad, so I don't have as many control of directions. I can shoot my arrows, and it really affects my options as a Ranger. Base attack is dependent on those directions. Ooh. But yeah, any hit kills me here, so I have to be very careful. Because just the damage of this boss. We're just gonna shield bash that. Play a little safe. Come on. Awesome. Killed. Ooh. But yeah, I feel like this boss is the perfect bullet hell because there's a lot of bullets, but you could see everything going on. You could actually remain in control of the situation in a way other bullet hells aren't designed. Irad and Kadir's pupils dilating always looks so painful. I mean, to be fair, Irad hasn't slept for like 200 days, so it makes sense that his pupils are dilated all the time. Kadir, though, yeah, that's probably painful. Would you look at that? With a run that went so far south at the beginning that I was worried it was going to go 50 minutes and like I was going to fight over that, we went 44-18. And that's with mistakes. That's with the Sun Tower being a painful bug or all that sort of stuff. So it's a bullet hell fight with the ability to organize attacks within it, makes it nicer. Yep. Basically, because the game doesn't expect you to have the ability to fly, instead of the bullet hell being like finding the exact little pixel where it's safe, it's about knowing when you can and cannot touch the ground and taking your leverage there where you're gonna get it. Yeah, so I think it's like, I think the Irad fight is like a perfect balance of bullet hell. So I really enjoy it. But I can see how other people wouldn't. And if it's any more bullet hell than that, I could definitely see myself not liking it. But it's a fun fight. I do enjoy it. And we got a good run. I mean, if you think about it, we got all the equipment we wanted. The only thing we're lacking is the Warden weapon. And the Warden weapon is really hard to equip because of its equip weight. So, yeah. That was a good run. Imagine not sleeping for days because of insomnia and then finally being able to sleep. Yeah, that's... So in case you're wondering, the lore is that that's what happened with Irad. Like, oh my gosh, just... What was it? He was like 200 days or something like that? Like, yeah, it's one of those things of like, the cry of joy, where it's just getting back to normal is a beauty in and of itself. Anyways, that's this run. That is this run.